2025 is starting out in a great kind of way. Not only did Genesis just happen and complete recently for a few games, we also got an announcement from Hungrybox talking about Multiversus plus NASB communities, and they should tune in to Genesis before the grand finals of Ultimate between Hurt and Aquila. Some of you may know from watching what happened actually on this stream that HBOX won Melee for Genesis X2. But what no one really expected was this announcement. I will show the clip right now of Hungrybox's announcement while on Genesis' stage.
I will keep it brief. A lot of people have been wondering what's happening with the coin box. Currently, we do not have a sponsor for it. Some things are taking more time than we thought, which I know is unfortunate. However, I did not want to keep you guys hungry, so I'd like to announce I will be donating my entire winnings that I made today at Genesis Melee into the first ever Hungry Games. It's gonna be a 7-day subathon, and let me get this. We're gonna do Monday NASB, Tuesday Melee, Wednesday Ultimate, Thursday Rivals, and Friday Multiversus. And for all the events, we'll have a donation ticker at the top. All the money donated will go into the prize pools for each game, and we're going to give back to all you guys have given to me, so thank you to everyone. I'll see you there.
So Hungrybox's announcement for Multiversus and NASB communities is great because he's always doing stuff like this, but not at this scale and bringing it back and showing love to these platform fighting games, but also he's doing it for Melee and Ultimate. He did a follow-up tweet, one last surprise, March 1st to March 7th in honor of ending my drought. An online major each day for 1 week through March 1st to 7th. He donated all of his winnings from the prize pool he won in Melee to these games, and it's going to be the Hungry Games. This is a big opportunity for all these games to be able to be on center stage, and it's a good thing for Hungrybox 2 doing a subathon. It'll be interesting to see what goes down in these tournaments. This is one last hurrah for obviously NASB 2 and Multiversus as they are on their way out. I predict NASB 2 will probably have like NASB 3 coming out sometime in the future, but Multiversus, we know it's going offline and we really don't know what's going to be happening in the future with this game. So having these games in the spotlight alongside classic games like Melee and Ultimate and the amazing Rivals 2 as well is going to be a really good stage for every player to get in where they can and play this great tournament. His last follow-up tweet is that all of the Start GGs will be posted this week as in February. I don't know if there's a cap for this, but you guys should definitely sign up if you guys are willing to participate in a tournament. If you guys want to do one last hurrah for NASB 2, even if you wanted to support it, this is probably the biggest tournament that these games have had in a while. There hasn't been much variety of big tournaments for Multiversus and NASB 2, so this is a really great thing. Obviously, Melee and Ultimate are different. They kind of have their own sphere. The grassroots for those games really go hard. And Rivals 2, nothing needs to be said of Rivals 2 because Rivals 2 is its own beast, right? It's a great game already too, and it just came out not that long ago. So NASB 2 and Multiversus as well coming out of the woodworks to get their one last shining sparkling in. It's going to be really interesting to see. I think a lot of people that I haven't seen play professionally online in a while are going to enter this tournament, which is a great thing because it's all about platform fighting games as a genre. That's one major takeaway from this whole thing is that there's going to be one online major for each game. That's huge for the communities within those games. And there's going to be a lot going on because there's going to be a lot of people playing. Congratulations to Hungrybox for winning Genesis X2. Pretty surprising to see, especially how the tournament went. He was like popping off mid-set, already knowing he was probably going to win. And he ended his 2-year drought of not winning a super major. So with this celebration, he gives all of his winnings added to the prize pools, and that's just a really good way to give back to the community. I know people thought of Hungrybox as a villain for a long time, which is funny because every game kind of needs a villain, but he does give back to the communities, and his coin box goes on so often that it really does help a lot of people who do win the coin box. So seeing another tournament come out the woodworks for multiple games, not even just Ultimate and Melee, but for the fact that he's going out for these other 3 games, Multiversus, NASB 2, and Rivals 2, is actually really good for every community. So I definitely recommend that you all sign up. This was not expected. Nobody saw this coming except for Hungrybox, I imagine. But he was sort of a way to make up the fact that he didn't have a sponsor for these tournaments, for the coin boxes. He didn't have one. But it's going to be a good thing because if he does end up getting some, he'll host another coin box. Maybe he'll add these games again. It depends on the turnout. So that's why I'm echoing this, because I want people, if they have the competitive drive to play in these games, definitely go out there and support the community by showing up, playing. What matters is that you are supporting the community and you're out here, right? You're out here getting competition, because these games, some of them are going to go away soon. Like Multiversus, we have no idea when it's going to come back. That's kind of a sad thing going on right now, is that the fact that we don't know what's going to happen to Multiversus. We know that there's some mods out there and people are going to definitely bring it back, maybe on an online server, sort of like how Slippy is with Dolphin. But it's kind of up in the air right now. NASB 2 also not really making that much strides right now in the gaming sphere. There's not very many people playing that game right now. So to have this go on, it's going to definitely be good for the people who have been grinding nonstop, even though that the numbers are not there right now. This will probably be the biggest show out for these games now that they're kind of receding back down to lower numbers than they've ever had. So having this be able to be on the same level as Melee Ultimate and Roa 2 is definitely a special thing that I don't think anybody should take for granted. This is definitely not an opportunity that comes around a lot, especially because platform fighters don't normally have a lot of money in them. But big companies like Genesis's company going behind there and making this come reality, having these big tournaments and super majors go on, just tuning in to support for free is definitely something that you can do to help everybody in the situation. And even if you're not going to play, like I said, you don't have to play, but I would definitely say watching this stream and like giving attention to these games specifically. There's going to be Ultimate and Melee as well, so if you like those games, which I love those games, I'm going to watch as well. Definitely something to give back to the community. It's kind of like one last hurrah for some of these games, and definitely going to be an opportunity that should not go wasted. If you have any love for these games at all, I would say to show up, show out, and do it up. Even if you're just watching, it's going to help a lot. Platform fighters are definitely here to stay, and this is one thing that will help. Who knows in the future if this actually did help enough to get these games to stick around, or maybe seeing the support for these games helps the devs or the companies behind them to want to keep the games going. Obviously, I'm not speaking for Melee, Nintendo sucks, but the other games definitely deserve the love that they're going to get. Having these games be back in the top part of Twitch's viewership is going to be a nice thing to set them off, and who knows, Multiversus may have a second wind at some point, even when the game is dead. There could definitely be some stuff that goes on, like I said, with those mods, and 100% there's going to be a lot of people going in that didn't expect to get back on. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people that may even just show up just to support. They may not even play the games that much, but it would be a good thing to do. The start GGs will be posted sometime this week, as in when this video dropped. So sign up sometime during February when this is done. And if you guys want to play in this, you guys are probably going to have to go to his Discord, or they're probably going to be posted on his Twitter, that Liquid HBOX. Definitely some interesting news, and not the normal news we usually get. You know, these games are near and dear to a lot of people, and the fact that we get all the platform fighters that have some level of basis and community behind them is a great deal. I don't know what the numbers are going to be like for the entrances, but Multiversus was really big at one point, and NASB 2 was doing really well at some point too. But now that they're kind of on the end swing, it's definitely going to help to see them come to glory one last time, until either the next iterations or until something happens like an NASB 2. There's got to be an NASB 3 coming, guys. There's no way. I feel like with how successful the last two were, the reception on the last game was really great, and Multiversus went through kind of tough times, but I'm hoping that at some point either the mod makes it good enough and people get in on it and there's more word spread about this, because I will definitely be talking and playing about this, because there's definitely an opportunity there just to even play a game that I loved. But honestly, if this is the last big tournament that these games get, specifically NASB 2 and Multiversus, then I guess it's going to be one last big bang, because it's going to be something not to miss. I mean, if you want to participate in a tournament that's meant to be there, sort of as a love letter to the community, and I mean a celebration of what HBOX has done, I definitely think it's going to be an interesting time to be a platform fighting game enjoyer, especially enthusiasts who like these kind of games. I know Slap City's not on here and all the games like that, but these games were huge in their own right? They came out and they all shocked everybody, especially Roa 2 and Melee and Ultimate. All of those games like were already like set in stone, whereas Multiversus and NASB 2 kind of came out the gate as sort of the underdogs, and having something like this was not expected. So I just wanted to spread the love and let you guys know. If I can get the sign up start GGs in the description, I will, and I'll make sure to get that blasted out to the internet as well, because this has to be the most shocking answer to somebody winning a major, which is hilarious, because this definitely wasn't something I saw coming. But if you saw the announcement like I showed earlier, you would know that there is a lot of love behind that, because Coinbox helps a lot of people out, and a lot of people who get in there would not get that money otherwise. There's not a lot of money in platform fighting games, unfortunately, until the future. Maybe we'll have some, but it's the fact that it's a lot of it's grassroots, right? If you want to show off one last time for Multiversus and NASB 2, I definitely recommend it. Or maybe you want to play something new. Maybe you want to play Road 2 and you want to see how that's like, or you want to watch and see what people are doing in that game. Definitely recommend it. Melee and Ultimate are great as well. I can't wait to see what goes down. But this has been the newest video for the Hungry Games 5 Online Majors from Hungrybox, and adding his own money that he won to the prize pools, which is pretty awesome to do. If you like what you did seen from this video, Soldier, and you want to see more, make sure you like and subscribe and hit the bell button, and I'll see you again in the next video. We got some what if videos and more NASB 2 and Multiversus things coming out, but as well, we have Melee and Ultimate 2. You're going to see a lot more videos coming out from me, and if you guys like what you did see, I'll see you in the future. Goodbye, Soldier. Ooh, we ride.